Hello and welcome to another episode of Seeing Live. I'm Colion Noir. And guns are used to brand and market a lot of companies, but coffee might be a first. Check it out.
Love is hard while you're trying to make it harder. You gotta drink a little more and laugh a little longer. Don't let them tell you how to live your life. You gotta live it up till the day you die.
That's Black Rifle Coffee Company, and our first guest, Evan Hafer, created it. What's going on, Evan?
Nothing. I'm just here in my office. Proud to be here, man. I appreciate the opportunity for the interview.
Hey, man, it was a long time coming, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say
been
something.
Stalking you for a long time, dude.
You've been
trying.
You've been doing a horrible job. You've been doing a horrible job at it.
Going through your trash. I'm surprised you haven't seen me.
Damn it. Sorry, dude. I just messed up my mic.
What just happened?
I messed up my mic. I'm being Colion, that's basically. Literally, they know that's synonymous with being blonde. No, man. So you were talking about going through my trash.
Yeah, man. Just seeing what you're up to. Just seeing what you're buying. That's all I'm doing. It's not a big deal. Hey, that's free game. It's not illegal. I just want to see what you've been buying.
Hey, you know the interesting thing about that is because of the stuff I get that come to my house, they're usually too big to throw in my trash can, so I have to scavenge around for big dumpsters and companies, and I have to secretly go there at night and throw the cardboard boxes and stuff in the dumpsters. Yeah, I just told myself, whatever.
I've done that.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this. I've actually never had you guys coffee.
No?
However, I have you guys coffee. Think about it for a second. I haven't. I haven't.
Never had.
And let me tell you why. I have 3 or 4 bags of it sitting on my counter right now, and it's been sitting on my counter literally for about a year when Richard Ryan gave it to me.
Yeah.
I refuse to drink it because I love the packaging so much.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I'm in love with the packaging. I kind of use it, honestly, as kind of a decorative, what do they call decorative ornaments that they put on your counters and stuff like that?
Yeah, ornamental.
Yeah, ornamental. There you go. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, man.
You need to drink it. Now it's past its perfect date. I'll have to just send you a brown paper sack full of coffee that we roast. And that way you could just try it. You won't feel bad about destroying
the package. All right, I'm down for that.
And the next day, I'll go down and get in your trash and see if you drank it.
I think we have a deal. So, for people who don't know about Black Rifle Coffee, let's talk about the history behind the company, why you started it, the motivation behind it, all of that great jazz.
Cool, man. Yeah. So I started roasting coffee about 10 years ago. So my history with coffee goes back to 1997, 1996. Mm-hmm. Went to Seattle, went to college out there for a little while, and then started dating a barista, and she turned me on to espresso.
That's usually how it always happens.
It is, right? And I fell in love with just coffee in general. 2002, 2003, my ODA, so Operational Detachment Alpha, I was a Green Beret. We did the invasion of Iraq, and we were the only guys that carried grinders and whole bean coffee into Iraq. We were grinding coffee in the mornings, grinding up coffee and French press. And the other guys were like, "You guys are crazy, first of all, and second of all, can I get a cup of coffee?" Right? And I went to work as a private contractor with the CIA. I can say that now. Roughly 2005.
That's gonna be a hell of a pickup line.
Yeah, it was. I'm married now, bro.
I know. I'm trying to get you in trouble.
And I was doing these 45, 60, 90, 120-day rotations. And I would come back, and my life was just consumed with basically being a professional, what I say is an artisan of war, right?
Yeah.
And when you're that immersed into basically survival, and not only that, but increasing your game in order to not only be more effective, but it's, combat survival is anything that you can do to increase your game. You kind of need some hobbies outside of that, or you turn into a weirdo, no offense, but you kind of do.
I totally get it. I understand it. I mean, it's like
you turn into kind of a weirdo, and
I mean, but that's honestly with a lot of. I don't want to call it a subculture because it's so much more important than relegating it to a subculture. But I mean, you have this thing for hippies, or not hipsters, and you could say the same thing about them. They immerse themselves in this weird eclectic world of superficial nonsense, and then they become a little weird.
They become a little weird, and ultimately I was looking for something that would kind of take me out of just that combat mindset, in the sense of like, it's not the mindset, you can't drop that. I just needed another hobby outside of, shooting, working out, and fitness, basically general fitness, working out, reading. So I'd come back, I would run, roast coffee. I'd call it the 3 R's. I would run, roast coffee, and row rivers to just basically decompress.
Yeah.
And I started roasting coffee. I bought like this little 1-pound roaster and then a really cool espresso machine and grinder, and started messing around with coffee and espresso. And I realized that coffee was a lot like shooting and reloading, to be honest with you, because you have to get everything very precise, and you can fluctuate your profiles based on the origin of the bean. So where I imported, either from Colombia or Salvador, Nicaragua, Ethiopia, it doesn't matter. There are different strains of coffee. You bring those in green, and then depending on how you roast them, you can change the profiles like dramatically. You can increase the taste, you can decrease the taste. And then everything's about weight and temperature. So it's not only how much coffee you use, at what temperature it was roasted, but also it's like how fine you grind how you grind the coffee itself, and then what temperature you put it through, like an espresso machine or a drip machine. And I was roasting coffee to take overseas, and I was becoming like super immersed in coffee. I'd come back from deployments, I'd go to different weird hipster coffee shops all around the United States on kind of a vacation, and I realized this culture was just full of hipsters.
Yeah.
And my last 2 years, I was working in a training department. So I was on the range. I was teaching advanced pistol carbine, like super, high-speed shooting and CQB, which is close quarters battle. But I was also roasting coffee on the range and providing coffee for all the guys. And we started joking around about this Black Rifle coffee. That's really kind of where its origin started. And they're asking me, what are you going to do when you're done? I'm like, man, I'm going to start a coffee shop. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start pulling shots. And, when I'm done, because you can't carry a gun for a living your entire life. You can't do that till you're 70, but you can sure as heck, run a coffee shop. My buddy Matt Best, he had Article 15 clothing. And they're like, hey, do you guys want to roast our coffee this year? And I was like, absolutely. So we did Freedom Roast for Article 15 clothing. About 2 months later, I launched Black Rifle Coffee Company, and I've really never looked back, dude. Like, I hung up the spurs, so to speak, and I just started roasting coffee full time. And now we got 102 employees as of this morning.
That is awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's great. Like, I couldn't be happier.
Man, I love my coffee. I actually just recently started, like, I drink it black now. I used to be the milkshake coffee drinker. You take the coffee and then you do everything you possibly can to make it no longer coffee. Yeah. That used to be me. I used to be that guy. Huh?
Yeah, the frappuccinos, it's a coffee milkshake. It's
there
like,
you go. Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you recently made the news with I was reading your article or interview on Munchie, and and it was interesting. I love the way you conducted yourself in the interview, because in a lot of ways I read the preface to the actual interview and I'm like, God, these guys are kind of dicks. That's how it came across. They pretty much felt they had you figured out in that sense. You guys kind of really started to talk about the fact that you had plans to hire 10,000 veterans over the course of, what was it, 5 years, I believe?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
Okay. Yeah. So just for people who don't know, really quickly, kind of give people an idea about why you decided to do that and what sparked that.
Well, the subculture here, me, Matt Best, Jared Taylor, basically we combined Black Rifle Coffee and the guys from Article 15 Clothing. And our subculture is really, it's all about the veteran community, because most of us have spent our entire lives serving the country. And what I realized, and kind of all of us realized at the same time, is that, there are a lot of different veteran issues. We've got veteran suicide, veteran unemployment, but ultimately those can be not necessarily distilled down to just one thing. But the transition from veteran life or military life into the civilian world is kind of like falling off a cliff at times. And so if you don't have a group of guys that you're transitioning from the military, and then you've got a good catcher's mitt on the other side with a subculture that matches, that can ease them in to kind of the civilian world, you might have a very dismatched subculture and psychology that can contribute to the problems and ultimately provide an exponent that basically expands the psychological factors that can make things worse for veterans coming from multiple deployments or no deployments, because it's such a harsh transition. And we had talked about it multiple times that, providing a company where the men and women that have served the country that can, come straight from the military culture into a civilian culture that used to be military, that's a softer landing. It's an easier adjustment. You provide them a mission and a subculture that contributes to a positive psychology. You can actually you can contribute to a positive impact versus maybe hitting a negative. And ultimately, we really wanted to preface our business around the veteran subculture, because we know these people in the sense of like they're our family. And everything we do, whether that's with Black Rifle Coffee or Invest 11X, which is Matt Best's brand, or Article 15 Clothing, or Black Hearted, Drinking Bros, these are all the things that we've developed over time. It's really just providing value for our subculture. And we expanded that because, we are conservatives, and we're openly conservative. We talk about conservative issues at all times, and we think that most conservatives are pro-vet, pro-America. That doesn't mean that we always agree with what the federal government does. It just means that we agree with the principles of the Constitution and the Constitution. So we wanted to have a company that just supported those ideals and that could expand great impact. So we looked at franchising early on with Black Rifle Coffee, and we wanted to develop a franchise about creating what I say opportunity for veterans, but more importantly, emancipating men from government service. And when I say that, it's like when you've been yoked with responsibility under the government comes with a heavy load of bureaucracy, and sometimes that can contribute negatively to psychology. So when we say emancipate, really what we're talking about is providing opportunity for veterans to own their own businesses that creates a positive psychological factor, which ultimately can provide success. And so hiring vets is number one in our priorities. When we say hire vets, deliver a premium product, and make sure that they have a great experience along the way. And that's kind of the cornerstone of what we do, is really just giving back to the community, whether it's through entertainment, meaning let's create value and create a positive value within their day. So it might be a laugh, it might be information, it might be a cup of coffee or a cup or a T-shirt, but we want to create value within the lives of the veterans that have served the country.
Awesome, man. I love to hear it. You owe me several bags of coffee.
Yeah.
Nondescript.
That's easy, man.
Actually, no. Throw them in the package. Throw them in the package. I'll get over my fear of destroying the beautiful packaging that is Black Rifle Coffee. But really quick, we are out of time. But let people know where they can go if they're looking to get their hands on some Black Rifle Coffee.
So just go to blackriflecoffee.com. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and definitely you can hit me up too. I mean, everybody reaches me at evan@blackriflecoffee.com, and I can definitely email you back. I get a couple hundred emails every day, so I spend a few hours of my day responding to everybody.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thanks a lot, man. I look for
Yeah,
man.
man.
You got to come back on the show. Appreciate it.
Anytime, bro. Like, just come out back. You'll see me going through your garbage and just pull me up on the show.
I don't even know what to do with that. Man, you was full, man. No, but you take it easy, man. I'll be sure
All
to
right,
leave
bud. Thanks,
some
man.
milk and cookies out there for you too.
All right.
All right, man. Coming up next, if you've never shot a crossbow, I'm going to show you why you should after this quick break.